During the cruise, there's complimentary tea and coffee on board. Amenities located near the rear of the vessel. Feel free to visit the back deck, but please do not tamper with any life-saving equipment, do not climb the rails, and do not climb the top of the vessel.
The feature of these gardens is the historic rowing boat houses and clubs on the banks of the river. Rowing is the oldest water sport on the river today. Behind the Alexander Gardens, further south, we have the Queen Victoria Gardens. The garden's most famous feature is the Olympic Park Oval is Olympic Park Stadium, home ground to the Melbourne City Soccer Club and Melbourne Storm Rugby Club. The building features a bioframe design and a geodesic dome roof covering most of the seating. The exterior is covered by thousands of LED lights that are programmed to a variety of patterns and images, making for a spectacular sight at night. Looking back over to our right, we have the renowned Royal Botanic Gardens. If you are after tranquility, appreciate gardens, and after some spectacular picturesque scenery, then a visit to the gardens is highly recommended. Businessman, councillor, and the Lord Mayor of Melbourne from 1926 to 1928. This bridge was one of the very first large-scale concrete structures to be built in Australia, featuring cast iron ornamental rails and Victorian-style lighting that was introduced in 1938. A famous Australian was involved with the production of this bridge, Sir John Monash. Monash was a brilliant engineer who was involved with many structures in Australia. Monash was also a highly decorated and regarded general in World War I. Monash University was named after him in honour of his services to Australia. Morell Bridge was originally built across land, not the river. The old course of the river ran out to the south through the Botanic Gardens, back out to north in front of this bridge, and then turned south again on the other side of this bridge. After Morell Bridge was built across land, the river course was straightened to flow under the arches. The lake in the gardens was part of the old river course. During the 1880s and 1890s, many sections of the river were straightened, widened, deepened, and riverbanks reinforced. Ahead of us is the Hoddle Bridge, which opened in 1938. This bridge is often referred to as the Punt Road Bridge, named after the road that connects the south of the bridge that runs through South Yarra. Before this bridge was built, the Punt service transferred people and livestock across the river, hence the name Punt Road. This bridge was named after Robert Hoddle, a land surveyor and a renowned artist. In 1837, 2 years after the early settlers arrived, Robert Hoddle Chapel Street on the right. The roadway running up, or M1, which opened in 1972. This major urban freeway links Melbourne CBD with the southeastern suburbs. It is 34 kilometres in length and used by about 180,000 vehicles a day. By now you would have noticed the floating boardwalk along the river. This path is very popular, used by pedestrians and cyclists, and is part of the main Yarra Trail that is about waterbirds such as the Pacific black duck, maned duck, and dusky moorhens shelter and forage in the reeds. Possums, lizards and snakes are also found on the island. In terms of other fauna along the river, which is some 242 kilometres in length, 1/3 of Victoria animal species are found in the Yarra catchment area. There are over 190 species of birds, including birds and crested. It's truly amazing. As we are heading back, it's time for a break, and we will pick up the commentary again a little further down the river. All this make Melbourne a most exciting, livable city and a great place to visit. The cement landing on the left is known as the Hanley Landing, built for spectators. Today, the most popular community event held in Melbourne is the Moomba Festival, held over the long weekend and celebrating the public holiday of Labor Day. 65 bridges across the river, Prince's Bridge. All are significantly heritage-listed landmarks. Prince's Bridge was opened in 1888 and was the fourth bridge on this site. It features decorative cast iron arches displaying the coats of arms of the local councils who funded this bridge. The arches of bluestone continues around to the northern end of the bridge, making up the facade of the historical vaults, which did originally facilitate and assist all riverboat operators over many years, until recently. Before bridges were built to cross the river, people relied on small rowboats. As demand grew, larger punts were built to carry more people, livestock, and wagons across. As demand grew for further trips and services upriver,
No worries, thank you. Thank you.
Is this way to Flinders Street?
Yeah, this is
right.
Flinders
Thank you.